So we are. I am on the wrong tab here. How is my sound? I will probably
Yeah,
have to be
sounds good.
making adjustments
Sounds great.
throughout. Now, who all? I think only 2 of you were together at the time of capture, correct?
Yeah, I think Falls and Obzam.
Okay,
together.
so either of you choose somebody to roll a d10, and everybody else roll a d10.
Roll a d10.
Starting out really strong here.
Obzam, you want to take ours? Here, I'll roll for us. Boom. Is that like a
Nice. That's either
We get the
extremely
nice,
good or extremely bad.
Yeah, the lower the better, right?
This actually is to determine who has been here the longest.
Oh.
So Obzam and Falls, you guys have been here for 10 days. Either of you, do you have in mind a trinket already or something of sentimental value, but not actually mechanical importance? Or we can roll on the trinkets table.
Ooh, let's roll on the trinkets table. I like that.
See, sorry, my internet has chosen exactly now to start having problems for the first time in like 2 weeks. So where are we going? Where are we right now?
It wouldn't be one of my streams if there weren't technical difficulties.
Oh, of course not.
So I rolled a 10 for us, which means that we have been there the longest at 10 days. So we're going to roll on a table to see what kind of trinkets we might.
Yeah, something that you had on you that were captured that you miss.
We see. I have the Twitch stream up, and I see an interesting sort of map with compass on Twitch. But oh, there it goes. I think it's loading on the actual Roll20.
Yeah, I will put you there. Let me drag your tokens out. It is a very cramped space.
I just see a black background in actual Roll20.
You may have to refresh.
Refresh still shows a black background.
Yeah,
All
mine
right,
is
who
black background
is
as well.
not? Okay, hold on. That's right. When I made the tokens, you guys weren't on the table yet, so I could not assign them.
I can see. Can't see much, but I can see something.
Yeah, we're about halfway down on the right.
All right, can you now? You should have access to your tokens.
Let me try to refresh.
I tried to force a ping there too.
Nope, I don't see anything. Oh, I see a ping,
Wait,
but the screen is still black.
You may have to
okay.
scroll over, Chris. Like scroll over to the far right.
I mean,
I
if you can
have-
see where the pings are, that's where you should have vision.
Yeah. I see the ping.
Yeah, I
but
see
the
the thing. So.
Did you refresh the page?
I did.
All right, hold on.
I'll try again.
Oh, no, I think, no, that shouldn't matter.
Aha. Yep. Now I see. Not only do I see, but I have control.
I'm still getting black for mine.
Who was that said they're getting black still?
Matt falls.
Okay. Yeah, you have vision, you have... I tried dragging a new token out. Did that help?
Let me try refreshing again. Nope. Just a black. Oh, wait, I see it. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody can see now. That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So, which one of you had 2 toy soldiers, one with a missing head, that is sentimental?
I'll say it's mine.
Okay.
So
Mark
yeah,
that
I've picked them
down.
up. Yep.
Basically, these are things that if you choose to recover them, you will have to explore to find them. But, you know, it won't kill anything if you don't actually get them back. I wish I could
It'll
add...
just break my son's heart that I didn't bring him back.
Yeah.
My soldiers that I promised to bring him back.
You're just a cat, so this is a little toy.
I wish I could take a rollable table and make it a macro bar without having to create a macro to access the table. All right. And then the next is Obzam, right? A tiny silver icon of a raven.
Sure.
So among all of your other stuff, these were taken too. The trinkets upon your captors seemed interested in them and personally pocketed them. The rest, as you were thrown into the cell, you were basically stripped of any gear, not clothing. You still have your clothing, you still have any shoes, but any food, supplies, armor, weapons, stuff like that has been taken. Which of you... Do either of you have a strength score of like a 14 or higher?
I do. Oop. Got a 16.
So you have been put to hard labor while you've been here.
Yeah, makes sense. The elves couldn't do it themselves, so you needed to get a dwarf to do it.
Indeed.
Any associated penalties or fatigue with that, or is that just what's been happening?
That is what has been happening. Trying to find...
All right. Well, yeah. Anytime I'm taken out, then
Okay,
I
there it
am
is.
trying to remember where anything is, trying to figure out any possibility of getting out of here, or just maybe murdering someone. That sounds like a good compromise instead of getting out of here.
Yeah, they put you in groups. Usually there are other prisoners, so you've been teamed up with a. In your case, with the hard labor, we'll say that you have been teamed up with Eldith Feldrun, another dwarf that is in captivity. They have you alternating. Sometimes you're basically just filling buckets and carrying them back and forth. Other times you're piling rocks, picking up a rock, carrying it to a place, setting it down, going back, picking up a rock, and then once all the rocks have been moved, they have you move them back.
Okay. This
That
is
type
just
of tasks.
keep them too tired to think about escape, not doing anything useful.
Yes, partly. When they need useful things, like there is a lift that operates on a pulley. Where is that? Here, I will show you on the map. I get you out there. So the pulley, I will drag your token around, is on this platform here. There's usually
Okay.
2 Quaggoths that watch you on guard here because they are on watch at down below anything that is on the ground floor there. It is a long drop down. And anytime like people wander through, they watch them to see if they are aggressive, if they are somehow going to find this place, but this is pretty high up, so they don't often do it. But if somebody seems on the verge of finding it, they sound an alarm, and a couple of drow then come out of the watch post, which is a bit further to the south here. And I believe drow can levitate, so drow will often just jump off, or they come to the lift and ride it down. This here is the lift itself. It's a cage. It fits a few people. So they sometimes have you on the lift. The water is here. They will collect water from the waterfall and they have you move it around. But for the most part, a lot of it is menial, unimportant labor. Anybody that is not very strong, they do more of those. It's like carrying food from the stores. And I will, let's see, temporarily get you all out here so you can see.
Do we have any sense of like, were we taken just for labor, or were we taken ultimately, like, inevitably to be sacrificed, or do we just really have no idea and we're just kind of working day by day?
In the beginning, you're working day by day. Let me get people here. So the food stores, just so you know roughly where you are going here. This door here is the main hall. That is where the dining room is. That is also where the supplies are and the food is prepped. So when they have food delivered to the watchtowers are the little darkened circles here. There are 2 watchtowers there. There is another a bit to the north. Let me get the measuring tool. So there's another one up in this direction with the bridge that goes between the 2. So you will actually go across into one watchtower and then come across when they do that.
Do you mean to have the fog of war so close in? Because I can't see anything beyond like the tokens
you have
right
no
next
dark
to me.
vision, yes.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Oh, that's going to be rough. All right.
So yeah, when you are led, you cannot see a whole lot, but
Are they going to be
I will give you this
like
for now.
very upset about the use of, like, if I attempt to do like dancing lights to help me see, for example?
Yes.
Okay.
I will do this for you at the moment as I'm moving you guys around.
So I guess you're doing a lot of like stumbling around in the dark, keeping a hand on the person in front of you whenever they're dragging you out to make you do things.
I mean, also I have a -1 strength, so I'm not
Yeah,
probably not doing much.
All right, I've grouped some torches with the blind people. So the food stores is here. The 2 doors to your south here seem to be barracks. You occasionally deliver food into there when they have you do that. This bridge and door leads to state. There is a shrine there.
Oh,
And
cool.
the high priestess who is in charge of this area is also up there. You generally don't go into there. They don't like it. But
That webbing doesn't look supportive, does it?
where did I... Oh, I clicked the webbing is down below. It is very thick though, and if you could have a way of not getting stuck to the webs, it probably would support you. So yeah, this is...
That's to prevent escape, I would guess.
Yeah. And they also threaten that there are spiders there. And they often tease you too. If you don't comply, they'll feed you to the spiders. So this one here is where the shrine and the priestess live. This one here is another guard tower. So they will escort you through there. There is another watchtower further up this way. All right, let me move you back into your pen. So during your stays here so far, let's start with Falls. Falls, roll me a d20 and add your 10 that you rolled previously. So 20 total. So far during your stay, you have managed to find a flawed carnelian gemstone, and you've secreted away. They don't seem to pay too much attention when you pick things up. If there are obvious weapons around and they notice you, they generally smack you around until you drop it and relinquish it. But certain things you've been able to hide, and that's one of them. When they're putting you back in your cell, they don't seem particularly interested in searching you every single time either. And then for Obzam, roll me a d20 and add 10.
Sure. 17.
17. You have found and secreted away a 5-foot strand of silk rope.
Ooh, 5 feet.
5 feet.
Okay, it's not nothing. It's close, but it's not nothing.
It is not nothing. All right, next on the list is Rukook. Do you have a trinket in mind, or would you like me to roll on the table?
Wooden ring.
I could not catch any of that.
Let's just say a wooden ring. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can. A wooden ring. Okay, you can mark that on your trinkets. They took that from you. One of the guards actually is wearing it. You know, they kind of found it odd that you had it and took it.
That bastard.
That's a kneecapping.
And then, so you also, as a dwarf, they have you in menial labor, carrying the rocks, bringing the water. Sometimes washing dishes, doing laundry. And in your time here, roll me a d20 and add, what did you roll? A 9. You have also found a flawed carnelian gemstone. And just for note, these are worth about 10 gold. So in the instance that you find somebody willing to trade for money, you have these. Next is Xandor.
Oh, we rolling.
All right. Trinket, trinket, trinket. An alabaster mask.
Nice.
Is this alabaster mask shaped in any particular way?
I feel like it would be something that we all wore as part of our squad when we came down here.
Like a
Kinda like-
unit marker?
Maybe like a unit marker, maybe like a faceplate to a helmet, that kind of deal.
Sounds good.
Probably has some markings that mean nothing to these people on it.
There are no Githyanki down here. You haven't seen any. Prisoners, they have a couple deep gnomes, a dwarf. I will get into more of this. There's also a quaggoth in the prison with you, a drow, a what is this?
There's a drow in the prison. Is it one of the prisoners is a drow as well?
Yeah, one of the prisoners is a drow. There's also a there's a pair of twins. I believe these are deep gnomes. So there is 2 deep gnomes, a darrow, a quaggoth, a frog person, a koatoa, an orc, or half orc. There's a total of 3 deep gnomes, I think, yes.
These are all other prisoners.
Other prisoners in here with you, yes. And in Xandor's time here, roll me a d20 plus what you rolled before, which was 8. $24. You have managed to find and secret away a rusted iron bar that can be used as a club.
Sort of a weapon.
Yes, sort of a weapon. Let's see, next is a 7, so Obediah.
All right.
Give me a d20 plus 7.
11.
11. You have found a gold coin.
Ooh.
And then the most recent one here is Iris. Give me your d20 roll, plus 4. 8. You haven't found anything yet. You haven't been around long enough, probably. So we will start then with Iris's arrival. As a couple drow open up the gate, toss her in with a snide remark about another blind one here. There is, if I recall, light in this cavern. It kind of emanates from the walls. One thing the spellcasters have noticed, because it's one of the first things they try, is this cavern is warded somehow. No spells will activate inside of this room. When they take you out, if you're a spellcaster, they will often bind your fingers so that you cannot perform somatic components. And if you try to start to chant verbal, they generally nudge you or interrupt you somehow. No spells while you're out and about. So presumably spells work outside of this cavern. So inside with you, those that have been here, you know that the half-orc is very, very, I'm in charge here. He tries to push everybody around. Trying to demand food. When they ration, they feed you half rations, so you're not quite on the level of an exhaustion level, but you're not far off from it. They also they take you out at different times of the day, so they do their utmost to prevent resting.
Okay.
But besides trying to exert his authority, there's not a whole lot of room in here, and it's very cramped. So at any given time, 3 or 4 of you are probably out and about working in different areas. And then they bring you back and take a few of you else out. In names, does anybody, I believe, speak? We have these speak common. Topsy and Turvy.
What?
Deep gnomes, the twins. Topsy and Turvy.
Ah, okay.
They are not super talkative, but they do share a bit, you know. They were out gathering mushrooms near their home. When they were captured by the Drow. I lost my page. Like most other deep gnomes, Topsy has a stringy mop of white hair, and Turvy only has a few tufts on top his otherwise bald head. Topsy is the more social of the two. Turvy mumbles and mutters darkly, and not often like he's talking about people, but when Topsy translates, it's generally pleasant messaging, but Turvy definitely seems very paranoid and dark, like expecting the worst out of everything. Stool. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe why you have light in here is because I still had light grouped with you. No, it's still lit. So there is also a little myconid that basically is just sitting off in the corner. Yet at one point somebody almost stepped on it and it squealed and shifted and got out of the way. At which point Ront basically went over there and, why you try to sit on stool?
Ront is the half-orc?
Ront is the half-orc. You'd be nice stool. At which point Ront kind of nudges him with his foot a little too hard. So obviously not being nice to stool himself. The Drow just kind of sits quietly. Hasn't really said much, watches everybody darkly when he's around. But has made no attempts to communicate with anybody on his own.
Okay.
Let's see
And I'm
what happens.
guessing most people aren't the biggest fan of him either down here.
No. You do notice though that when the other Drow take him, they really seem to treat him worse than anybody, since there's probably any surface elves they would treat badly too, but there aren't any here. But him, presumably, they really treat, and they often, as they're shoving him out, murderer, get going, murderer.
That earns him a few points in my book, you know.
And you said I just arrived, right?
Yeah, you are just arriving, most recently. This will be probably in the next day or two when all of these are. So you'll have had a chance to get a little bit of the people here.
When they deal with the Drow, are we talking like tripping and spitting and elbows in awkward places?
Oh, the other Drow when they treat the prisoner?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they do any kind of that of abuse toward any of the other prisoners?
Yes, but not as bad. More of a bullying type, a light bullying type, I guess. You know, prisoner
Probably
to
they do
captive
that.
type.
Probably they do that to you if you're asking for it. They do that to him without any particular reason.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
One of the most talkative people here is the Darrow. He sits there and tells stories. Let me see if anybody can actually understand his stories, though. He alternates between Dwarvish and Undercommon.
I speak Undercommon.
I speak Dwarvish.
I speak bull.
Our powers combined.
Undercommon here.
Okay.
One of the things that you guys get from him is that he is unafraid. He will often talk back to the Drow, the captors, when they lead him out to work. He will take any punishment. You know, he doesn't seem to let it get to him. Now, they don't actually hurt you too much, right? They'll maybe do a point or two of damage to you, something that you can heal for the most part for the next day, right? They seem to have a purpose of you, and killing you is not immediately on the table.
That's for later.
That is for later. However, Eldeth, the dwarf, mentions that before you were there, one of her companions was captured with her, and they basically, he was very defiant, refused to do anything, took beatings whenever, and everybody else was advising them, you know, go along with it, something's going on. And they took her companion out the door and basically shoved him off the edge and into the webbing. And, you know, commented on how the spiders would have a good feast that day. So apparently it's not off the table. The Quaggoth, where is he? So cramped to this guy over here. He is not as aggressive like Quaggoth are. They're normally bestial and very hostile, and they react angrily. And he just kind of sits in the corner, occasionally talking softly and in Elvish to Stool. Right. Anytime Stool seems to have an issue, he goes over there next to the Quaggoth, and they start talking amongst themselves. And then the other deep gnome. We'll start with him. He is, at this time, we will say that Topsy Turvy and the Drow are out working. So there's a little bit of room. And the other deep gnome over here, at least with Falls and Obzam, since you've been here the longest at this point, you've noticed that the deep gnome tends to make bets a lot. He will bet on anything, and he is currently, let's say we bet the old Sereth has a new scar when he gets back.
Sereth is the Drow?
The Drow. I say 2
Okay.
gold. He has a scar this time. It's been a good week before since they've scarred him before.
Oh.
And I'm good for it. If we get out of here, if we get money, I'm good for it. I remember, he taps his head. I remember my bets.
If we get out of
Do you
here,
have anything to bet? Do you have anything to wager for that?
Oh, back home, if you come home with me, I do.
That doesn't do me much good down here now, does it?
Oh, who has anything down here?
I might.
Although, if, say we acquire something in an escape, he kind of looks back and forth quietly, then I'll, pay you back then too.
Falls will flash his carnelian gemstone.
His eyes light up briefly, and then he again glances at the door and makes a hand down low motion.
Yeah. I keep it kind of hidden just so he can see it, and then I'll kind of tuck it away.
Don't let too many know you have that. He kind of at that point turns his head and glances to where the half-orc is over on the other corner sleeping at the moment. Some might mention it just to gain favor.
Good to know.
favor from a Drow. I don't know what that's worth. But I'll take your bet. When we get out of here, you'll get your 2 gold if I'm wrong, and I'll give it happily.
Good. And he glances over at the others. What say any of you?
Thandor has been very standoffish and not really interacting, I guess, with everybody else. He kind of carries himself with a little bit of smugness, thinking that, hey, I'm only visiting this terrible backwater plane. I will be out of here no time flat.
Any day now.
Any day now. Don't worry, my squad is going to come and get me.
They wouldn't leave me here. That's just not a thing. That's just not a thing they would do.
No,
That's ridiculous.
Clearly, they're searching for me right now. And then when they get me, they're going to pay.
The Quaggoth. Let's see. Xandor only speaks Undercommon.
I speak a bunch of things.
What are you speaking in currently?
I would speak in regular common if that's what other people are speaking in. Where are my languages on? Here we go. I've got Common, Draconic, Dwarvish, Gith, and Undercommon. But I would try to keep as much of my knowledge of other things, like the fact that I can do magic. I haven't shown that off. That would be silly. Same thing with knowing Dwarvish and the other languages, but Common and Undercommon I probably have responded to.
Showing off magic is how you get your hands bound whenever you leave the cell.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to give them the idea that I should be restrained in any way.
The deep gnome, Jimjar, was speaking Undercommon at this point. And so when all that happens, the Quaggoth in Undercommon. I will take you up on that bet.
Mm.
When we get out, if you guys can escort me home. And he is definitely not speaking like a Quaggoth.
Were you all speaking common falls
Yeah,
when you were
so
talking to...
Yeah, earlier common.
Okay.
But I'll respond to the Quaggoth. Kind of like looking at him a little bit quizzically because it seems a little unusual. Where is it you call home?
Oh, the kingdom of Narendonvane in the High Forest. I'm actually kind of looks back and forth, especially over to the door. Prince Darendel, a gold elf. I was polymorphed by my captors when they brought me in here.
I'll switch over to Elven at this point and say, "Is that so?"
Ah, you speak the language, and he responds in Elvish.
Why, yes, I do. So how did this come to happen to you?
Oh, I was on a what would the term be? Part of a diplomatic envoy on the surface, and we were raided, and my guards were killed, and they captured me. Presumably to get a ransom from my father, my parents.
Very interesting. So this is your true form?
He looks down at himself. This? No.
Is this your illusion?
No, they polymorphed me in the attack.
See.
Can I insight check this guy?
Sure.
All right. Think that works? Did that work?
Nothing has worked.
Okay. How do I get things to click on Roll20 or click on D&D Beyond and
Do
show up
you
on
have the extension?
The Beyond.
Beyond 20.
Hold on,
I did see a 17 roll up in the D&D Beyond, though.
I gotta go over to Chrome. Unless they
I'll,
updated.
I'll also insight him since I'm talking to him, if that's all right.
And I will say this whole time, except for the brief exchange in common, Iris has no clue, like has a look on her face like she has no idea what is happening, what is going on. and at the same time, she seems like weirdly excited by it. And as you're like having these conversations in all these different languages, she's kind of like springing from one group in conversation to the next and like popping weirdly up behind people, like the little bit of like a surreal presence.
Just happy to be here.
Yeah, it's a party.
All right, let me see if this
For
works.
certain definitions of party, yes.
Is there a... Oh, I can actually see...
What's the extension called?
Beyond
Beyond.
20. I have the log over there on D&D Beyond, though, so I can actually see those rolls, too.
Okay.
He seems to be telling the truth.
Okay, cool.
Or, it is something that he believes, anyway.
I actually want to run a confirmation on this by I was previously in training to become a diplomatic advisor, so I just want to ask him some. I want to try a history check to quiz him on foreign policy to see if he knows the kind of things that someone who that a prince on a diplomatic mission would know from that kingdom. Just to try and get an idea. Is he going to respond to those questions or?
He would respond to those questions.
All right.
Do you have any type of knowledge about elves, elvish lands, beyond just a general history?
I was I was preparing to be a political advisor, so I presume I would have some more detailed information. But not about elf specifically. I don't think beyond But yeah, should I just do a history check or with advantage or disadvantage based on?
Yeah, give me a history check. Just a straight roll.
Right, that was 15. Wait.
No, first one.
Wait a minute. How does it? Oh, it shows you 2, and then you. Okay.
Yeah, it shows
7.
you 2. If you have
Never mind.
advantage, you use the higher. If you have disadvantage, use the lower. Otherwise, use the first one.
All right. Okay, that's how this works.
You can set it for a toggle each time, but then it comes to the fact that if you forget to set it and roll,
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Some of his knowledge seems sound. Some of the locations you aren't familiar with, so you can't verify that type of thing.
Okay.
Um,
Well, you know what? I'll be convinced for now. It's insane, but sure.
And during this conversation, especially with the Harengon popping up behind people and others not understanding what's going on, and it's kind of obvious in the faces when languages are switched that some people they lose the ability to understand and stuff. The Myconid stool begins to kind of wander and weave in between everybody. And after a moment, everybody seems to realize that there is a cloud of spores now in the cell. And for a brief moment, there's that reaction of pollen in the air and allergies and stuff. But it quickly fades, and you realize that everybody can now understand everybody.
Well, that's convenient.
Oh, forgive me. I wanted to know what was going on.
That's some kind of interesting mechanism. How does that work?
Oh, it is we call it rapport spores. It is something my people can do.
And do you just emit these spores?
We can, yes.
I'm
It
just
is not all the
padding
time.
around my body looking for something to write down with, and I'm like, nothing.
It is temporary, but yes, I can do it pretty much any time.
I'd be quite interested to study that. Understand a bit how that works.
Are they edible, darling? I try to pluck one out of the air.
Oh, I don't know.
I eat it.
But
It
yeah,
tastes
so
purple.
when you speak, you're speaking, but you soon realize that it's telepathic communication.
Mm.
So the speech doesn't have to happen after a bit.
Mm.
It will fade
Oh.
over time, but I can do it again.
So we literally can just like stop making like verbal communication, and it just happens.
You can, yes.
I have never seen anything like this in my life. This is incredible.
Well, now that we can all understand each other, you don't have to keep the secret on my behalf. This has got to be some sort of like game, surprise party. Right?
I just shake my head at the sheer innocence of the statements.
The half orc wakes up with his hand over his head. Quiet, get out.
I just like think really hard at him, like
Get out. Yes, great suggestion. I'll take it immediately.
Afraid not.
Why are you all in my head now? And he tries to roll over.
I don't know.
and go
There was
back
a
to
lot
sleep.
of empty. There was a lot of empty space in there. So I really should not be picking fights with the half orc. But you know what? We're gonna go with it.
No, I approve of this.
Hear me out. I've heard of these wild, unhinged parties. I believe the last one I heard about was in Waterdeep. And they gather everyone together. And the idea is that you have to escape from a room or perhaps there's a bigger space like a manor or something like that.
Yes, this is that.
I knew it.
The stakes in this particular game appear to be a bit higher than what you're probably used to.
Ooh, but that makes it more exciting, don't you think?
Just kind of lean more in your direction. Like, well, then how do you think we should get out of here? Which really loses some of the body language when you don't speak, you just think it at somebody.
We're all just staring really awkwardly at each other.
Like this.
Just speak anyway, but just speak different words than you're telepathically communicating.
I don't think that makes it any better.
No, that makes things significantly worse.
Can I just sort of do maybe an investigation roll? Like I'm gonna just sort of wander around the door area and just try and get an understanding of how does the lock mechanism work? How are they keeping us in here?
Yes, that's it. That's how those games work. Exactly.
Yes, you may. While we do that, I also forgot to do the trinket for Obediah and Iris. So,
Did it work?
Obediah,
Oh,
did you
it
have
worked.
a trinket in mind, or would you like me to roll on the table?
Roll, baby, roll.
All right.
That literally could not
Totally
be
on
more.
brand.
That is it.
It's like he's
Yes,
in
correct.
here.
Yes, they took
Tiny
that. They
mechanic.
were very interested in that and took that really right away.
That's actually perfect because I got nabbed on my way to create an inventor's fair. So
Okay, they stole your science project.
they stole my science project.
Wow, then they have to die.
I was
Artifice
going to
Con.
ask if they stole it or if it just walked away from you and then they found it somewhere.
I wonder whose this is.
Mine now.
And Iris, do you have something in mind, or would you like me to roll?
Go ahead and roll. It's more fun.
Dude.
Also perfect.
Because you're writing that last chapter.
Exactly. It's mine.
Yes.
It's
I
my
had
book.
that last chapter.
Was the last chapter there originally? Who's to say?
The last chapter was in there, but it was really bad.
Self-insert OC. Don't
Yep.
steal.
YN.
So it's like rewriting the last season of Game of Thrones. I see.
What do you mean? They never made a 8th season of that show?
It is
So
bizarre
sad
how
never
it
finished
ended.
All right, the investigations on the door. Oops.
I think, maybe this would be like spread over a period of time, of coming in and out, like going to work and back. And I think what I'm trying to find out is if, like, for example, I have found this gold coin, and could I actually use that gold coin to, like, jam up the latch mechanism or something?
Perhaps. I also forgot to say, in here, everybody has a collar, an iron collar, and manacles that connect to iron belts. So you're restrained. It doesn't affect your movement. You can walk, but your hands are together. And your feet, there's enough movement to actually move your feet. So you can, within reason, get up, get down, stuff like that. But you can't, like, spread your arms apart because they are together. Things like that.
Time to add more loot to my sheet.
Yes.
Is there a procedure for, like, when they do the switch? Like, do they order us to the back of the little cubby here and then open up the gate and then, like, order the switch between the prisoners and then close it again?
No, they don't. They generally open it up and there's guards there armed and ready.
Okay. So there's nothing stopping us from, like, piling up right next to the gate when they open it?
Not really.
Okay.
Let's see, where is the...
And have we seen, like, when they come to unlock the door, is it usually like one guy that has keys to unlock the door? Is it like a ring of keys that we can, or do they unlock our manacles at all when we do labor?
When you do labor, they will unlock your wrists, but not your feet. So you still have the belt with the chains going down to your ankles. So it allows short steps, slow movement, right? But you will have to lift things, and whatever you're doing, you generally need to be able to move your arms freely.
And when we're being escorted back and forth, is it typically like one person in charge of, the however 2 or 3 many people that they're taking out? Is it 2 people? Like, are there people, like, constantly on patrol on the way?
There are generally people on patrol. They're not moving around a lot. The guard tower that's directly across from the pen, with the bridge going over there, they can see the door, and you can see over to them. There's generally a few, like a hierarchy. There are some basic Drow guards that defer to a few that seem to be of higher rank, and occasionally there is 1 or 2 female Drow around, and they all defer to them.
Mhm.
And trying to find the info on this door. It's like I got info on the collar and the manacles.
Does anyone have any food, by the way? I thought we would absolutely break for brunch, but doesn't seem like that's the case. Anyone?
I don't think they
Shake my
know
head.
about brunch.
I just look over to the
Brunch?
mushroom man because mushrooms.
I also start to look towards the mushroom man.
Does anyone have a
Oh
butter?
no, not
A butter.
me.
Okay, man.
I don't think that it would be wise for us to eat our method of communication at this point.
Mm.
Oh, that's right. I'd already forgotten.
All right.
Besides, if we're going to start doing that, rather better meat than vegetables.
There is a lock. It seems to be rather complex
Mm.
and well. The locksmith guy could probably get through it in 3 seconds, but it might take you guys more.
Mm.
Any luck with the door?
Nothing that my single gold coin will help with. I think we'll have to be on the lookout for better methods of escape.
Well, you all seem like you've been here a while. Should we, search the rest of the room?
It's a stone cave.
Yes, but again, that's where they hide things. There's got to be maybe a loose stone somewhere.
Be my guest.
Stop
I'll
finding
wait
it
for the
while you like.
guards. Really, the issue is if we go for the guards when they come for us, then we need some way to stop them from raising the alarm when we do. It's always the trouble.
Let me see if I can fix this, because this is actually a gate, not a door. So I want to see if I can place a door here.
The door's open. Run for it. Oh, door's closed.
Almost got him. So close.
Can I...
Some kind of latch off to the side.
Yeah, you should be able to see through it, but not go through it. Oh, I know, a window.
I mean, I can see through it. Yeah.
Is the securing mechanism some kind of latch off to the side out of arm's reach?
It is a keyhole.
Oh, so it's built into the gate?
Yeah.
Like a really large, big lock or something small? What?
You're asking how easily we could break it?
Well, I mean, if it's the size of a finger, there's people with smaller fingers, right? If it's really, really tiny, then maybe not. Maybe you couldn't do it. I'm just kind of wondering.
Fingers, no. It would need a key or a set of lockpicks. Or thieves' tools, rather, if you can find some somewhere. It might be possible to break physically, but like I was saying, it's a gate, so when you're looking through the gate, you can see the guard tower over here, and there are almost always 3 guards in there visible. So activity around the gate is visible to them.
Okay. So, very difficult to get out of here without raising alarm.
Yes. And, investigating the gate, so you can see the lock. It is a well-structured lock. It would probably be difficult to pick. Gym jar. Maybe if somebody could get something on their next outing. Anybody know how to pick locks?
But yes,
I mean,
I do.
Nope.
I might be able to too if I had the tools, but so perhaps on the next work detail, if people can keep an eye out for a tool of something that can be makeshifted into a lockpick or something. But once we get out, then what? I believe, if my count is right, there are, not counting the Quaggoths, which they are bestial, and he glances over to the prince. No offense. I think there's 19 Drow down
Too
here.
many. We would need to quickly get across to some kind of escape route, but even then, the lift is directly near the barracks. Unlikely we would get out without seeing a great deal of trouble.
Yes, the lift. We would have to go through the guard tower, so that is at least 3 that we would have to overpower quickly. The southern watch post is beyond the lift, though, so if we can sneak past that, or sneak to that rather, we can avoid them. But the barracks, we would have to sneak past the barracks as well.
we don't know what it would take to get into the watchtower, do we?
Yes, and I must say, sneaking is not particularly my strong suit.
I am quite adept at it.
You guys hear motion, and it sounds like the Deep Gnome twins and the Drow are being led back.
Oh, is that food?
Doubtful.
Is it food? No.
No?
Well, it depends how you look at it, but I would say no.
One of the higher-ranking Drow guards, along with 2 of his subordinates, are flanking the trio as they bring them back and open up the door. Get in there. And then they stand there a moment after closing the gate and locking it. They stand there a moment, kind of peering off to the side, and another Drow comes up with a tray of gruel.
See them starting to bring something. I get super excited and my nose is twitching and I run over there and then ultimately see that it's gruel and then my face falls and my ears droop a little bit. Oh, you there. Is it possible to put in a request?
I would like to take advantage of this distraction.
Okay.
The keys to the cell, do I see where they get put in a pocket or where they get stashed?
Yes. The elite guard is the one that has them, and he pulled them from a pouch on his belt. Right now he is holding them because apparently he knew that food was coming, so he is getting ready to open up the door.
Okay, cool. Let me double check my psionic casting feature, which I don't remember where that is on my features and traits. And of course, here it is. So I get the Mage Hand cantrip as a racial feature that the hand is invisible.
Ooh.
Nice.
But magic doesn't
Oh,
work in
okay.
here, right?
Yeah, have to check if psionics are stopped by anti-magic.
I'd be happy to let it go because it's not. It's like the spell, or the cantrip, which is different than it being a completely different class feature.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like you. It's not just saying, "Oh, you have the ability to do telepathy." It's no, you cast the mage hand cantrip. But yeah,
Because like the
I mean, I think editions have like gone back and forth on whether or not psionics are magic or not. So it probably just what does an anti-magic field cancel psionics? I don't know. What year is it?
right. Well, it's because like the telepathic speech feature that I have, it just lets me talk to people in their brain. It doesn't say it's like the
Mm-hmm.
detect
Mhm.
thought spell, blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah. 5e doesn't like telling you whether or not things are magic or not. Because also, you got the same thing for like Great Old One warlocks and such.
Yeah, telepathy has seemed to work. Obviously, the spores induce a form of telepathy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you try to activate that, and it doesn't seem to spring into effect here.
Cool. Knowledge gained.
And then they look at the bunny. Back up, back up.
Okay, okay. Can
And
I
then
make my request from here?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. You all feel free to speak up if you all want something. Cinnamon rolls, coffee. Should we try to be a little bit healthy? Maybe some apples, and I think that'll be it for now.
Right. I'll take your request to the chef.
Perfect.
He opens up the door with a smirk, and they slide the tray down right in front of the door before closing it again and locking it.
If I were you, I'd hold off until the cinnamon rolls get here. That doesn't look very good.
I'll take some gruel.
Your call. I'm taking the gruel.
Yeah, Rukook will eat. Is it like a pot of gruel with some bowls or what?
Yes, there's several. It seems like a soft fungus bowl, right? So something that doesn't really have any hard structure to it, but it is firm enough to actually support a gruel. There are no spoons. The pot is made of the same thing. There are enough of these bowls for everybody, but not enough food to fill the bowls of everybody. So it's basically like a half ration for everybody.
Soft
Yeah,
fungus
I'll
bowls.
take my
That's
half
just
ration.
deeply weird. All right.
It's like a bread bowl, but
Yeah,
Gruel bowl.
fungus bowl.
But is
Cream
it edible mushroom?
Fungus bowl.
it's not as tasty as a bread bowl.
Okay, but if you can eat it, then yeah, screw it. Fair enough.
You can eat it. It is not good tasting. It is not satisfying. It's almost like chewing cardboard. It may have some nutritional value, maybe.
Yeah, Falls will dig into his half ration and eat
Yes.
gruel and bowl all.
Make
Same.
it last.
Whilst I'm waiting for my cinnamon roll delivery, I think I'll have a bit of this appetizer to get started. Young rabbit lady, I suggest perhaps you do the same.
I'm gonna like slowly slide it away, like with the tip of my rabbit foot. Somebody else can have mine. I'll wait.
Suit yourself.
I begin slowly reaching for yours. Just earned myself a whole ration.
Good deal.
Oh,
Good deal.
It's Iris, by the way. I mean, you can call me Rabbit Lady if you want, but
Oh,
Oh,
I suppose since we're gonna be here for a while, my name is Obediah.
Ooh, Obadiah has a nice ring to it.
I thought so.
I'm Arrow Falls, or Falls, as most folks call me.
Ooh, are we most folk? What would you prefer?
Falls is fine.
Falls it
Uh,
is.
Obzam came down here with
Obsam.
him.
Ooh, you came together.
Yes. We've been here
Unfortunately,
10 days.
10 days?
I don't
It's a
think
shame.
we're
it's
good
a
at the game.
bit of a difficult escape room.
This seems to be a challenging puzzle.
One way of putting it. Yeah. I'll need next time I'm dragged out there, I'll keep an eye for anything that might be useful for picking locks. Didn't know that was an option we had. Was only thinking about breaking necks. Poor foresight on my part.
We could
Breaking
try.
a neck and breaking a lock are very similar, both mechanical principles at work.
Yeah. One's quieter than the other, though. At least if you do it right.
So you've been here 10 days and you haven't figured a way out yet.
We were waiting for you.
Oh, you do know a way to a rabbit's heart, don't you? Ah, well, I feel like once we get some proper food and maybe a little bit of sleep. I'm actually nursing a bit of a hangover, if I'm being quite honest.
I remember hangovers. I remember them
Once
fondly.
to the floor. Feel free to sleep.
Can you remind us, DM? Maybe I misheard, but when it comes to the door, is it like, or the gate, is it bars that you could presumably like fit your hands or arms through?
Yes, you can reach through them, so you can actually see across to the guard tower.
Okay. But they're wide enough that we can put like our hands through.
The half orc probably can't. Right? If you have thicker arms, they probably won't fit through. You could, maybe a good 2-inch gap, so you could put your hands through them and maybe your wrist if it's small enough.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind your wrists are shackled together.
Yeah.
Right, but if you did a little,
You could do both wrists on different gaps.
mm. As talking, I would like to casually walk over to the gate and attempt to stick my hands through, like enough that if I were to cast a spell, I could complete the move, like the hand gestures. And I want to attempt to do something innocuous, like prestidigitation or dancing lights, like a basic cantrip, and see if the what hasn't seemed to be working so far in this space works, like literally just outside the gate.
That you can attempt, yes. You can get to the door, or the gate, lean against it or whatever, and get both of your hands through it. And it seems like the fact that you are still in here prevents the spell from working.
Okay.
And upon the finger wiggling and stuff, verbal components can't really be subtle. They are very loud and obvious. The guards kind of laugh, and they don't seem to come over to discipline you or anything, but they do laugh.
They're putting on quite a performance, don't you think?
Yeah. Think that was the wrong solution there. So let's see. How far away are the guards from the bars? They're
20
feet or so.
The
Okay.
other door is like 15 feet away, so not terribly far.
Okay. Do they change at regular intervals, or is it like sleep up there or whatever?
Yes, they do change the guard tower at intervals. It's
Not
hard
sure
to
if there's
tell
someone who uses it,
time
but, yeah.
because they interrupt you at different times. It's very hard to get a cycle going to where you can accurately tell time.
Yeah.
But
Always dark.
Presumably every 4 to 8 hours they do a shift change.
Drow get trance, right?
Drow do, yes.
That's got to be the worst for everybody else. Because they're the asshole morning people that function just fine on 4 hours of sleep, unlike everybody else.
Yes. Since they've come back and eating, the Drow finishes his gruel, basically crumbles his bowl into pieces and tosses them out of the gate.
Oh, does he have any new scars?
He does not.
Oh.
Or at least none that seem to be visible. And he
All
kind
right.
of gives everybody that momentary appraisal look, as though he's trying to assess whether or not he should say anything to you guys or not. He has been mostly silent with you ever since he's been down here.
Yeah, makes sense. I'm just gonna go. Well, what is it? Attempting undercommon for now.
There should have been a supply patrol from Menzoberranzan a few days ago. It's late. That's odd. I don't know what to make of the information yet.
I internally think to myself, my squad is working.
And precisely how do you know that this shipment hasn't arrived?
I know its schedule. I wasn't always a prisoner.
And what sort of, if you know the schedule, certainly know the contents, what sort of shipment should they have been expecting, and how could we possibly use this to our advantage?
He gets one of those asshole smirks on his face. You know, things like cinnamon rolls, food, supplies for the guards. It wouldn't have been much help for us. It's just odd that it's not here.
The ones here. Would they go out looking for this patrol, or do they just wait? Do you think?
They haven't seemed to go out looking yet. It hasn't happened before that I'm aware of, so I don't know if they know what to do yet.
Waiting for some priestess to tell them what to think.
Probably.
You're muted.
Who?
Just out of curiosity, how much does the average person know about just the Underdark in general and like the hierarchy and how it works and things like, obviously I know Menzoberranzan, but like, does the average person know what that means? And
I would think as notorious as it is, the average person definitely knows that it is a bad place. I mean, people know the Drow exist. That is probably the city that everybody thinks every Drow comes from.
Ah, okay.
Right? Even though it's not. And among the dwarves, there are legends of, a famous Drow that befriended the king a long time ago too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So I don't know what to do with the information. It may mean nothing. It may portend trouble.
For us or for them?
Any
Both.
problems they have will quickly be passed on to us. If they aren't getting enough food, you can be sure we won't be getting any.
That is a fair point. Why feed us when they can't feed themselves?
I would like to be out of here before that happens.
There's the game.
Perhaps.
Falls will kind of put out one of his claws and kind of fiddle with his lock just to see if he can his shackles just to see if he can unlock it or not. Probably too big, I would imagine.
Let's see, improvise. Give me a, what is that, sleight of hand with disadvantage.
What's the shortcut? Here it is. Disadvantage. All right. That is a 15.
Wow, let's go.
You get the sense that these might be doable, but the claws just aren't quite up to snuff.
Kind of like stops frustratedly.
Perhaps we may soon be facing a situation where some of the guards will be forced to go seeking the shipment, and we'll be in a position of reduced overwatch.
Possible.
That's my hope. I think for now all there is to wait and watch.
Bide our time.
Indeed.
Perhaps next time we have to go out to work, we can all keep an eye out for anything that might be of use.
Yeah, sometime later, guards are approaching. All right, work detail. And one of them, as they're approaching the gate, points at, what were my numbers again? Obzam, Xandor, and Rukook. You three.
Go forward.
All right.
Have-
Yep. I'll. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I just said have fun. Come back soon.
Right. Yeah, sure. We'll have fun.
There's such an eye roll that it just does damage.
Strains your eyeball.
It takes all 8 of my hit points.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been crit by the eye roll.
It's so bad that you move with difficult terrain because of the underfoot.
Yeah.
Hey,
So they escort you three out. get you if I can find you.
I'm the green one. Or I guess the jaundiced yellow one.
And lastly, where are you hiding at? Okay. They escort you across. Oops. Across into the guard tower, where there are 2 other Drow and another elite resting. They seem to be over
Multiple levels?
What's that?
Does the tower have multiple levels? Like, are we going through like a bottom level and then up above are the other Drow, or like, because you said tower, I'm picturing in my head multiple levels.
So the towers are actually stalactites that are hollowed out. It does seem like there is as you pass through it, it seems like there is a rope ladder leading up to a trapdoor, so there is at least one more floor above this one.
This level, just windows that let them watch the.
Yes, and
Okay.
it is also higher up. There is an elevation. As you climb this bridge, it goes upward too. It's probably a good 10 feet higher up, so they have a good view of the gate itself.
Okay.
Right.
And the guards inside seem to be looking over a map that doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to you guys at the moment.
In that it's just a map of an area, we don't know where that area is, or that it's written in some other language.
Both. Mostly that
I'm-
it's a map of an area that doesn't really match anything that you are aware of.
Okay.
While we're moving, there are 2 things you're going to be keeping an eye out. One is any sign that they're planning on leaving sometime soon, on the theory that they might be going out to look for the expedition. The other thing is any kind of metal implement that I could pick up and stuff in a boot without anyone noticing, or point out to someone sneakier than me to pick up and stuff in a boot without anyone noticing.
Right. Going through that tower, there is an implement, but there are a lot of eyes at the moment. So that's probably not the place you want to try to pick something up.
Okay. But we're gonna be coming back through here on the way back, probably.
Yeah, you have to come through here to get back to the pens.
Okay.
So
Then probably what I'll do is I'll try to let someone else know, and then so we can do like a distraction and someone try to grab it on the way back if it's something that I think would still be there on the way back.
Do you indicate this thing to the rest of us? Or at least
Not yet. I'm going to do that when we're not here, and then on the way back we'll try for it.
Okay.
This bridge also climbs as you come across, and it seems to be the tower here. You seem to be. This bridge crosses over to the topmost level. It looks like, and it looks like down below there's other, but they don't take you into that one. They take you across the way, and you guys are going to be cleaning the galley, the mess hall, in here.
All right. All right. Well, obviously we'll also check this area for anything that we could steal that might be useful. But when there is an opportunity, I'm just going to go ahead and whisper to the other 2 that are with me that I saw this thing in this place while we were going through. On the way back, figure out which one of us has the best chance of stealing it without being noticed, and then someone else is going to have to take a fall, make some kind of distraction, get eyes off of them.
For clarity, you're the deep gnome?
No. I am the mountain dwarf.
Mountain dwarf.
One of the 2 mountain dwarfs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, 2 dwarves. So the drow lead you in here. They stick around. They are staying by the door. Inside, and it's the map itself is not a very big spot, but there are several circular tables carved from the Zirkwood, which seems to be that fungal material. They're surrounded by 5 chairs. In the very back, there seems to be kind of makeshift cabinets and pantry, very shallow shelves that seem to have more dried and fresh fungi, a few dried fruits, cheeses. So this is their larder, I guess, and it is looking more bare than it has in the past when you guys were here. There's a heavy iron brazier that seems to be heating up the area, but also cooking some sort of big stew or gruel in there. And also dim light in this area. Yeah, so the Githyanki can actually see in here too.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
It's scrubbing.
Yeah, no, I will get to scrubbing, and oh, I got a terrible idea.
Ooh,
Part
terrible
of me
idea.
wants to try and snag some of that food.
I was thinking about ruining it.
That was my second thought, that if I couldn't make it mine, to make it nobody's.
You can't bring it back to the prison.
I was really hoping that Joe would slide in some cinnamon buns, but I guess when they're
Actually, have I seen any indication that like the drow around here understand Dwarven? Like when we've spoken, is there any indication that they have any understanding of what we're talking about, or can I tell?
Let us see. They don't seem to understand it. However, if you guys start talking a lot, they generally step up and, sword hilt to the back of the head. Not enough to knock you out or anything, but enough to get your attention to discourage conversation, collusion among the prisoners.
You're yapping.
Excuse me, sir. I would prefer it if you were quiet at this time, he said with a concussion.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just going to see. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and try to coordinate with Rukook. Rukook? That how you pronounce that?
Yeah.
All right.
And
All right.
A little more guttural, but fine. That's fine.
of the 3 of you, somebody speaks Undercommon, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I speak deep, and giant, other than Dwarven and Common.
They seem to be hanging out by the door, talking amongst themselves. Not very loudly, but loud enough that you can hear with a little bit of effort. And basically, it's like, Ilvara wants to send them for sacrifice once the Menzoberranzan patrol gets here. You get the sense that she is going to sacrifice you guys for some type of favor.
Is there an opportunity to, I don't know, like spill salt into the gruel or something like that?
Well, there's always an opportunity. It's how well you can do it without being noticed.
That's kind of what I meant by opportunity. You said they were hanging around watching us, so I don't know.
Yeah, they're hanging around watching you, talking amongst themselves. So
Rukook
if you wish
doesn't have any,
to,
like, other hand.
you can make a dexterity attempt.
So the best I think I could do would be like bump something. I mean, verbal components for spells, are noticeable, so I can't do thaumaturgy, but sleight of hand is not something I think I'm be all that adept at.
I would be happy to give you some help. Is there kitchen knives and stuff in here?
Probably.
Okay.
Most of the utensils would be kind of off to the side. Generally not where you are supposed to be cleaning, but yeah, you can try to either get something or knock something over, or...
My thought was going to be to take the knives and begin to sharpen them, because that will be something that is going to take me a little bit of time, and they're going to want to keep extra attention on me while I'm handling sharp things to make sure I don't put it in my pockets.
Sounds good. So you
As
use
a
the
form
help
of-
action.
Yeah, to create a bit of a distraction.
Also, we want to steal a knife.
Also, I would love to steal a knife.
Yeah.
So that would let you do a dex check at advantage.
Yeah, whichever one of you guys wants to make a play.
I'll do it.
Sure. I mean, what I want to do is steal one of the knives, which is going to be... So that's a tricky thing
then
to
in
do
that
if you're
case-
using this for the distraction. But
In that case, it might make sense just to knock over the porridge onto the floor, instead of use salt or anything. Just accidentally.
yeah,
knock
sure.
it.
Well, fucking knock it
I'll
over.
do
I mean,
that. I'll do that,
you'll
Joe.
probably get your ass kicked, but worth it.
That is indeed what happens.
Down to the ass kicking.
Yes, down to the ass kicking. There is a commotion. There is a rushing over, an exclamation of anger, and presumably, how stupid are you? But in Undercommon, and those that speak Undercommon, it's basically what they say.
Do these guys have keys?
These guys do not.
Do these guys have something small and stealable?
These guys they are armed with short swords. They have hand crossbows. Something stealable.
I would love to steal one of the bolts from their crossbows, because that is something small and pointy that could potentially be used as an improvised lockpick.
You can steal a bolt, or you can try to steal a knife.
Okay.
I will attempt to steal the bolt.
Okay. Give me sleight of hand or dexterity with advantage.
I believe in you.
And I will give them perception with disadvantage, because they are in the process of kicking ass.
Yep. I will also get involved in sticking up for my cousin, which probably just means to get my ass kicked too. But it's the principle of the thing.
You use your body as the help action.
I don't have a lot, but I do have hit points.
It's
Probably
not his
on
fault.
both sides.
It wasn't his fault. Oh, you want some too, huh?
I do want some too. And if the Githyanki could steal something right now, that'd be very helpful.
Okay. The Githyanki definitely seems to lift a bolt. And
So I also noticed in my what that was called, the psionics thing, that I don't need to, my mage hand is invisible and I don't need to use components.
Okay.
So I don't even have to do the verbal part of that stuff.
Yes, you can get that. I mean, you will have to handle it yourself. And upon inspection, when you were trying to secret it away, you notice that the tip of the bolt seems a bit darkened with a type of liquid.
Yeah. I have been briefed on the Drow's frequent use of poisons. My squad is very efficient.
Yes.
I mean, if you want a good night's sleep, then
It's true. That may also be how I am familiar with the poisons.
You have one poisoned bolt.
Cool.
And the cleaning duty is cut short as you and two black and blue dwarves are marched back to the pen.
The rest of the trip, we'll try very hard not to seem like people who need to be searched.
And to come back right away.
As you get, let's see, I have the wrong screen up here. So they take you out, the Drow. The other two are with them too. They start to march. Coming out of this one here is a Drow that you've seen before. He doesn't often do escort duty or guard duty because he is mutilated in a way. He has... Where are my named? Give you a description of him. So half of his face is melted and scarred, presumably acid of some sort. His sword hand is twisted and missing 2 fingers. So he generally does not do any duty when a beating may be in order because he doesn't inflict beatings very well. And he walks out because obviously there was a commotion. And what's going on? Their duty's not up yet. And they relays the story of the spilled porridge or gruel and all that stuff. And I'll take him back. Leave him to me. And one of them, kind of gives him a strange look. And I can still raise an alarm if something happens. And it's easy to shove him over the side to the spiders. And, they kind of nod and acquiesce. And the other guy kind of begins escorting you back.
Is this a guy that we've interacted with before?
Not really. You've noticed him when, who was here first? Obzam was here longest, right? When Obzam first got here, he seemed to be in favor of the High Priestess, but has since been replaced. Now, whenever she is around, she is with another Drow.
Fallen out of favor.
Yes. And so...
Then I would also like to insight this dude, because this doesn't seem... It seems like he's up to something.
Okay.
Ooh, he's
is up to a lot. He is plotting world domination.
He's a Drow. You don't need an insight check for that.
Yeah. I just look at my. Never mind. They probably can't see because their eyes are probably all black and blue and beaten up. They need a stake to put on there.
Yeah, they have about as much visibility as you do at the moment. So he leads you back, and you get jeers basically when you pass through the guard tower. The Drow there kind of jeer, and as they see the other one escorting you, they kind of cut their mocking short, and one of them redirects the mocking to him. And in the process, you catch the fact that his name is Jorlin. And when he goes across, one of the guards from the guard tower comes across with the keys. And he... Hand out for the keys. I got it. And he will unlock the door and go in. And as he is closing the gate and locking it, he whispers to Xandor. If I can arrange an opportunity to escape, would you take it?
Ooh, this is super, super cool because, man, this is perfect because I screwed up the insight roll so bad. I'm gonna eyeball him in that way, like that I'm a browbeaten prisoner, but then I will use my telepathic speech class feature to like reach out and knock on his brain, like, hey. Because like he's clearly being shady about whispering shit to me, and
I don't think he can respond to your telepathy, or can he?
it says chosen
Is it-
creature within 30 feet. You and chosen creature can speak telepathically with each
Oh.
other while you are within 3 miles. Lasts for a minute. That is dependent upon my level and stuff.
Okay, so yeah, you get the sense that he understands, and so he seems
Kinda-
to be making a show of locking the gate and saying, yeah, next time you'll be fed to the spiders, do something like that with the food again. And in your head, you hear, which is it?
I throw myself against the gate to like reach out for him and state aloud, it wasn't me, it was them, and point back to the dwarves as though I want food. I don't want to be punished. It was their fault. But I'll reach out to him mentally, be like, I'm willing to listen to what you have in mind.
Upon being gestured towards, Obzam will nod and stand up straighter, like, yeah, it was us. We did that.
He ineffectually, because his hand is missing a couple fingers, but he reaches through the gate and kind of cuffs you on the head. But you hear,
I am but a sorcerer. I take damage.
he projects, I will do what I can. Be watchful.
I have been thoroughly browbeaten and disciplined. I am sulking back from the edge of the bars and give a stink eye to my 2 dwarf friends. It's like, you've cost us dinner.
Rukook grins. No more cinnamon rolls.
Welcome back. Any news?
Yeah, they are back really
I
quick.
love what you've done with this, by the way.
They'll be eating worse than we were.
I give it I don't know, 10 minutes or so, or until Fungus Man farts.
What exactly do you mean when you say they'll be eating worse than we are? That seems to be a stretch.
Well, I don't think. I think a decent number of them won't be eating at all soon. We should probably leave sooner rather than later. Did you get what you were looking for? Glancing at Xandor.
I will look out ineffectually into the darkness because I can't see if they're like there are distinct shapes there. Let me see if I can.
Okay, can someone with dark vision who hasn't been beaten up recently check and see if there's anyone outside?
They're there like 10 feet away because they know you can know.
I mean, I'll just shift around so I'm between.
You can see that drow in the guard tower talking with the others.
Look, just shuffle to the back of the little cubby, and a couple of us can stand in front and like mutter and stuff and amongst ourselves and provide a cover.
A moment later, Stool will go out there and spore everybody.
Cool. I will take up position next to Falls because just kind of like against the wall, and
you two don't look very good. What happened?
I spilled the soup.
There's
I don't
an
like
axe.
when you do that.
Oh dear.
You spilled the soup. Is that what you mean when you say they'll be eating less?
Yeah, they'll be eating worse than we will.
And you don't suppose that that was our soup that you spilled?
In that room? No.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. Xandor, you got a knife, right?
Nope.
Wait, what? Oh, you screwed up the.
Were you asking out of character or in character?
That was out of character, but.
Oh no, I stole a
Crossbow
poison
bolt. That's
tipped
right.
crossbow
That's what
bolt
it was. All right.
because that was
Right.
smaller and more of a lockpick.
Yes, that's what happened.
But I will stoop down next to Falls, who I saw picking with his claws at the locks earlier, and produce from underneath my shirt here a little hand crossbow bolt that's I will hand to you, fletching first.
And prick yourself on the bolt tip and fall asleep immediately.
Telling me I'm getting a good night's sleep around here.
Falls will very discreetly kind of take it under his sort of whatever clothes he's wearing, very carefully because he is familiar with drow weaponry.
Yep, I'll give you just a quick mind the tip.
He'll give it a quick look and give it a knowing kind of nod.
Now, you can attempt to pick the lock with that, but it would probably ruin the poison. Or you may keep it and have a poisoned implement.
Do the rest of us notice this? Like him, like the transfer of the crossbow bolt and
Let's find out.
him.
Oh, okay. I thought I rolled a 1, not an 11. I tried to be sly about it. I don't know how.
That beats my passive perception, but also I knew it was happening, so roughly.
Yeah, if that beats your passive perception, you don't notice it.
What if it meets it?
Then yes, you do.
Okay, then I do.
So I'm just trying to think just how the manacles are. If I was able to pick them, is it one lock and all the chain is loose, or between, or is it just you said it's chained to our waist, right?
Yes, you have a belt around your waist, and then the chains. You have chain going up to your manacles and collar, and then down to your feet.
And where is the lock? I guess there's probably a lock on 3 places then,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, getting out of that is going to be a slow process, but fortunately, one thing we do have in here is time.
I'd like to, since I noticed the crossbow bolt situation, I'm gonna turn my weird eyes onto Falls, and I'm gonna say, "This is going to be so easy for you." And I would like to try to do a bardic inspiration.
I will try to
I don't know if that
unlock
counts under the magic situation.
And actually, is it going to be? It might actually be easier for me to try to unlock somebody else first.
Mm-hmm.
What makes your eyes weird?
Harengon are from the Feywild, so just for flavor, I mean, they're a very eerie purple, and I feel like Harengon coming from the Feywild probably just have this otherworldly type of vibe.
Dope.
Instead of pupils, there's little pinpricks.
Yeah, and like they like dilate weirdly and stuff like that, just for flavor.
No, it's cool. I just
Alright, I will try to unlock my manacles. I feel like it's probably better to do that than worry about keeping the poison.
Okay. Since this is improvised.
So I do have Thieves' Tool proficiency, but I know this isn't Thieves' Tools, so...
Yeah, that proficiency gives you your proficiency bonus, right?
Yeah.
So make it with disadvantage.
It's
And
sleight of hand, or...
Yeah, sleight of hand.
For the straight decks.
somebody got a cool way to give him help.
Well,
There's
does the bardic inspiration work?
That applies, yes.
Okay.
So I will roll sleight of hand with disadvantage.
Hmm.
13.
And
And I
you
will
add a
use...
d6.
getting some very good disadvantage rolls there.
13.
Yeah, an 11 and a 10.
So that's 17.
You pick your manacles.
I knew it.
You are free.
There we go.
Yeah. Turns out the key was hidden in the kitchen. Just had to get into a fight to get it.
I will turn to Zahn. Kind of like with my back towards the gate, and kind of go to pick his manacles as well.
Sick.
All right. I will continue to provide bodily obscurement from anyone who might be curious about this.
Okay.
That was a regular roll, so this will be 2 rolls here. Sorry. So that's going to be an 8.
Okay. You're having trouble with the other one. At that point, you hear one of the drows. All right, since that work duty didn't do well, let's take some others here. And they start walking up.
I'll
Buy more time
volunteer.
somehow.
Can I get any volunteers? Let's volunteer.
For clarity, this is not the same guy, right?
I volunteer as tribute.
This is not the same guy.
Could I arrange my manacles in a way that it looks like it's still locked?
Yes. Outside of close inspection, yes.
Okay, I will do that.
Do you leave the
I will hand it back to you, Zahn, but like as I hear them approaching.
Cool.
And I just give you like a nod.
Cool.
All right. All right, let's see what they do.
So they point to falls.
Okay.
And where is this? Ront and Eldeth.
The half orc and the dwarf. All right.
Yes. All right, we got something special for you.
Oh yeah.
And they kind of lead you guys out. Half orcs have dark vision too, right?
They do.
Okay. These guys, they lead you over to the lift.
Hmm.
Because of your friends there, you get to go fetch us some supplies.
Okay.
The lift itself is on a basket, so there's, even though it's tiny on the map, there's room for people to crowd in there, and it's on like a swing arm too. So to get to the surface, to the ground floor, they swing it out to where it'll clear the webbing. But it looks like as they put you in there, they are angling it to where it's going to land on the webbing.
Where's the lift?
The lift is, let me put you over there. Let's see, Falls, Eldeth, and Ront. I don't have to worry about it. Got you on the window.
Ah.
That's the lift. The Quaggoths are up here basically manning the controls to the lift. So they get you guys on the lift, and then they swing it so that it's lowering onto the webs down there. Some time ago, we caught somebody stealing some food, and he managed to fall, and, well, hopefully the food is still there. His body may not be. Spiders probably got to him. You get to go see if anything survived. Hopefully, something did.
Great.
Watch out for the spiders.
Duly noted.
And they lower you down onto this bed of webs. And Eldeth and Ront both don't seem too happy to be down here.
Alright, so am I like over here? Yeah.
Yeah, you guys, that's the ground floor, but yeah, you guys are out there. Moving around, positioning doesn't really matter at the moment too much. So you guys get to explore some web for a bit.
Okay.
What's going on back in the pen for now?
Let's see. Do we have a second best lock picker?
I'm gonna walk over to is it Zandor? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, that'll
Okay.
work.
To Zandor and like hold out my wrist. Me next?
I just kind of eyeball you, like, okay, and then I
Stab.
hand you the bolt because I don't know how to pick locks. What do I look like? Some kind of criminal? Get out of here!
Well, yes, but
Do you want me to answer that honestly?
It's his very loudly thought internal monologue. But
Jim Jar. Here,
he is
allow
happy
me.
to let you try. Yeah,
Allow me to
Go.
try.
Go for it.
This it'll be so easy. And again, I cast or not cast, but I give him or them bardic inspiration.
As he is preparing, is this a good idea to do this now? We don't even have escape lined up.
Spores are up, right?
Yes.
And all 6 of us are here. There wasn't one taken away, right? It was-
One
Falls
was
is
taken
out.
away.
Falls is gone.
Okay. While we are messing, when they bring up the escape plan thing, I will bring up the fact that the Jorlin, you said his name was, right?
Yes.
Jorlin is planning on taking over, and he wants us to cause a distraction, and in the process, we'll get the chance to escape. We just have to wait for the opportunity. He's
I can't
gonna
see
have a
what benefit there would be to that being any sort of deception. Did he give you any reason as to why he wants us to escape? Commotion?
question about the spores. Is it pick and choose who I can talk, or is it just everybody that's spored?
Oh, I believe it's everybody. Let's see.
Okay. Mostly because I'm about to say some racist against Drow shit.
Straight
And
up
I know
racist stuff.
I think he hears that enough regularly. He can
Sure.
handle it.
But if there is a way for me to exclude him from the
It is telepathic communication, and you having telepathy would probably be able to direct it.
okay, then I leave him out of this conversation entirely.
Yeah, most other people probably can't, but you definitely can at the moment.
Cool.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's like Jorlin is attempting to overthrow because all of these Drow know how to do is betray each other. It's a miracle that their civilization has continued to survive for as long as it has. Don't understand it, but his ambition is our gain. Granted, he probably expects us all to be slaughtered and killed, but if he can give us the opportunity to escape for his power grab, whatever bullshit he's doing, all the better for us.
Wait a moment. Which one of us is Jorlin again?
The one
because we never got like this is out of character. We never like met him or like talked to him.
And you are just gotten here, so like you wouldn't have had the previous experience.
Wait a second here. So he's planning on betraying his lady, whatever, because he's fed up with all the betrayal?
Yes, the irony is not lost upon me.
I have no doubt he intends to betray us too, but if we have something to gain by it, then perhaps we can be the first. we can beat him to the betrayal.
Betray not, lest ye be betrayed.
On that note, I suggest a pact between do a quick head count, however many there are of us. There's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's like 12 of us in here.
Yeah, there's a bunch of you in here.
That we work together until we get out of here, and then to each their own.
That seems satisfactory. I agree to that pact.
Of course.
I'm not sure we need a pact for that, but the rest of these shackles off.
Was that to everybody or just directed?
I have no reason to single out the PC. Like in game, I have no.
No, but are you still excluding the Drow?
No, because everybody else. I imagine when everybody else starts talking, he starts to perk up because they're involved. So like now he knows if he does not hear my voice specifically, he's going to be like, what's this guy up to?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to. He's gonna have to find out about it.
Yeah, if for no other reason than he is going to know this area better than anybody else of the group of us.
And yeah, he does pipe in. It's like, do any of you even know where to go?
Up.
Are you Jorlin? And I point at I use one of my ears to point at the the Drow that's in there with us.
No, my name is Sareth.
Oh, Sareth.
Jorlin was the one that brought us back from lunch.
Jorlin was the cripple.
Oh, he's with them.
But
not with them.
No, he intends to make some sort of power grab.
Ah, how exciting!
Sareth
we're always on the road.
Grins at that.
All right. Well,
Oh,
whatever he tries, we ought to be ready. Ready, perhaps, by not having manacles on whenever something happens.
Exactly. And speaking of being ready,
well, I definitely know my way around. I can get to much of the other places. What about anybody else? Up is a very vague term.
Hmm.
And the Darrow, where is he at? Bupido. It's like, I know how to get to Graxla from here. I believe it's the southern route. We'll get there. If we could also get to Dark Lake. Dark Lake is around too. I can get there from Dark Lake.
Do the names of these places mean anything to me as someone who is somewhat familiar with the Underdark?
Let us see.
If you would like a roll, I'd be happy to roll.
Yeah, do you have navigation?
That's not even a skill.
Is it not?
No.
Nope.
Probably
Or survival and history.
survival, I would say maybe.
There's like navigation tools. It's like a tool proficiency, but it's not a skill.
Curse you.
Sadly, this is not Earth Dawn, so don't have a navigation. It's just a normal skill.
Let's look at the skill list here.
When all else fails, go straight for acrobatics.
It starts at the top, so
that's my default.
Yeah.
Acrobatics.
Backflips solve everything.
Survival.
sure. Hey,
Yeah, that's pretty good. So here, since you were on an Underdark raid, what were you guys raiding after anyway?
Gith really hate illithids, so
Oh,
either
that's right. You were hunting mind flayers.
hunting is a is a very ambitious term for what happens to be a level 1 character.
Okay, your squad was being punished and ordered to hunt mind flayers.
Your squad was looking
Perhaps.
for mind flayers. You were the intern.
It was a hazing attempt or initiation.
So the dramatic reveal later on was going to be that they left me behind in some fashion, or I
Oof.
was trained wrong on purpose.
As a joke.
You weren't fast enough with the lattes. That's really what
Some-
did it.
something like that. I have an overinflated ego and sense of self-worth since I'm from the astral plane. Excuse me. I
Hey,
hate
man.
being here.
Right there with you.
You guys eat all the time and sleep. This sucks.
All right, so a rough
Just wait to see what happens in about 2 hours after eating.
a rough
No.
Geography here. Menzoberranzan is very close to Blingdenstone, and both of those are north of Dark Lake. Graxlaw is on the southwest area of Dark Lake. So the regions mean something to you. Dark Lake, who knows if that's a huge lake or a region or whatever. Gauntlgrim is the dwarven city, and that is far to the west. Here, let me do this for you. We'll show that to everybody temporarily. So you're not exactly sure where you are presently, but you some of you may know the rough lay of the land.
Yeah, given as I know Dwarvish, probably would be where the direction I would prefer to go, because I imagine maybe part of the teaching of Dwarvish in the preparing for the raids is maybe we have a some kind of trait deal to get, because like in the astral plane, you don't need things like food and water, but when we come to the prime, we need that stuff. So maybe we have some kind of deal with the more local dwarves or something to bring weird astral shit to them, and they.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So as you guys are getting lay of the land, Bupito, the Darrow, says he knows how to reach Graxloch, which is his home, I guess, from the southern route out of here, right? He doesn't really say much else of that. The Quaggoth, Prince Darendil. Unfortunately, I only know the surface. I don't know any way around down here. Eldith is gone at the moment, so she can't collude with you. Jim Jar, I can. If we take the north route out of here, I believe I can get us to Blingdenstone, and that's the Smurf Neblin city. I'm pretty sure you can get access to the surface there, but I wouldn't mind exploring other places. I do have some bets to pay off, and anything we could find down here might help. Ront is not here. Let's see, who's the other guy here? No, not you. Oh, the Koatoa. If we get to Dark Lake, I can navigate through Dark Lake. I'm very, very familiar with that. But we have to get close because I don't know how to get there from here. But once we are there, I can also get to the Koatoa town of Sloopdadoop. Sloobladoop. We can get boats there. I would like to get home there. And Topsy, because Turvey doesn't really talk much, Topsy's like, yeah, I can get us to Blingden Stone too, but I would rather not go there. If you guys go anywhere else, we would like to accompany you.
You don't want to go to Blingdenstone?
No. Does not hold fond memories for us.
Okay. So there was Dwarven City to the south, and there's Blingdenstone, or maybe finding our way over to Darklake, I think are the...
Yes.
I like the sound of Blingdenstone.
I bet it's not as shiny as you're thinking.
Are you sure about that?
Technically, no, but
Hmm.
And Stool, it's like, unfortunately, I don't know my way around here, but if we can get to Neverlight Glove, my people can offer sanctuary.
Ooh, that sounds interesting too.
And Sarath is like, I could lead us to any of those places, but I like the idea of Neverlight Grove as well.
there's a lot of names, places, and proper nouns being thrown around. Is there a divide in the group to where, I don't know, conveniently the PCs wants to go in one direction and the NPCs want to go in a different, that we could be like, we'll go until we can get out of here and then we can just go our separate ways?
I mean, it sounds like all the NPCs want to go to different places, so probably we'll probably be going with one NPC no matter where we go, maybe two, but
I have no... All places lead back to the astral realm for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm leaning slightly towards Blingden Stone, although if there's an easier route to the Grove, then that would be perfectly acceptable as well.
I knew you were going to say Blingden Stone. I called it.
I do have cousins in Blingden Stone, so that would be my vote.
That's 3 for Blingden Stone. But really, before we do anything, we've got to get
Yes.
these things off. And I start trying to encourage someone to get mine off.
Yes.
So
Don't want to
Jim,
put the cart before the
Jim
horse
Jar
here.
will attempt it.
I'll give them, and they have Bardic Inspiration.
Has to find him again. All right, Bardic Inspiration D6. He does not need Bardic Inspiration. I rolled a 17 and a 20. With disadvantage, the 17 hits it, and with his bonus, that's 21.
Dang.
So with the inspiration, his total is a 26. He makes it look easy.
Let's go.
He just kind of spins the bolt, narrowly missing the poison that is still on the tip, kind of stabs it into there, gives it a little twist and a flick.
Now
Nice.
that's more like it. I knew you were the person for the job.
Of course. Care to make a wager on the next one?
Ooh.
I'll bet you 10 gold you can't do mine.
But unfortunately, I don't have anything on me at the moment.
I
To
will
be
take
paid
an
later,
IOU.
of course.
Ooh, are you betting on me being an honest rabbit?
It kind of gives you a look.
A bet within a bet.
Yeah, what would you like to bet on that then? 5 gold?
Only 5. Low wages here. 5 then. Yes, 5 it is.
Well, I have to acquire wealth along the way. I don't like to overbet. So he will start to unshackle everybody here. Back to the 3 of you.
Back to the cat we're feeding to a spider.
Back
Yep.
to the cat. Yeah.
How far down from where we got dropped off are we? Like, can I see that far up, or am I kind of out of eyesight now?
The webs are like 10 to 15 feet down. They're not very far
Okay.
from the looking across, because they go up to the guard towers, the stalactites, and kind of around it, and then stretch along the way. So from where the lift itself was, which is that platform is a little bit higher than the elevation of where the jail cell, the pen is. It's probably about 10 feet down.
Okay, so pretty
15
close.
feet down. So yeah, you can see up. You can't see down through the webbing, and you're pretty sure that, like, from the surface, which is, I believe, like 100 feet down, they can't really see past the webbing itself. So the dim light that exudes from the different chambers up here is probably hidden very well from the very ground floor. But on the webbing, you can still see from some of that ambient light. And as you guys are patrolling or walking through the web, the drow up above is kind of giving you vague shouts of encouragement. No, that way, to the left. Yeah, bit further on, And he seems to be walking along the platform itself, following you as he guides you. You happen to see a couple giant spiders, and they are watching you. They don't seem to be doing anything. Apparently or allegedly, they are trained, and they will follow commands to attack. And if you leave them alone, though, they seem to be leaving you alone.
Cool. So do I just move my token along
No,
this
you
little
don't have
web?
to. Don't have to worry about moving them.
Okay.
Ront is. Ront, you're getting the sense that he is terrified. Same with the other dwarf. She doesn't like being on here, and she is very not sure of her footing. She is occasionally falling to all fours to crawl along the webbing until you get to one of the stalactites, and then she braces herself on it, and almost like she has maybe 6 inches of footing on a windowsill. She's creeping around, even though the webbing stretches out rather far.
Okay.
She is acting like that.
I'll kind of take the lead. I'll just follow my lead. Keep your eyes up on me. Don't look down. Don't look at them. I point up at the spiders. They're just guard dogs. I'll keep creeping along.
Give me a perception check.
That's a 15.
All right. Up ahead, you see a webbed sack, possibly a victim that has been surrounded by webbing.
Okay.
And getting closer to that, you also see a laying kind of a bit further on, a desiccated corpse that looks like it may have been fed on by the spiders or whatever, but it is not webbed up. It is not cocooned up.
I will approach the desiccated one first.
This one, definitely, it has the belt, the collar, the manacled feet. The arms have been released because you're doing labor or whatever, which your guys' arms are also released, if I forgot to say that. So this one was definitely a prisoner, and there is a sack kind of laying in the webbing a few feet away.
Okay. I'll grab that up and take a peek inside. And I'll try to do that, if I can do that out of sight. Trying to use the orc's big body as
You
to
can
block the line of sight there.
You can do that. Inside the sack there, it's about, I'll say, a 10-pound sack.
Jeez.
So it has roughly 5 days of food for one person. Right, assorted meats, cheeses, dried fruits, cheeses, the stuff that was in the store in the pantry. It looks like somebody may have tried to, stash stuff in a sack and fell off or got pushed off or something. Yes.
Okay.
But with that 15 perception, also you notice there is a body in the webbing.
I will take a claw and kind of cut down the webbing to kind of open it up.
It is a... what would this be?
Still trying to have Ront with his big body sort of block line of sight if possible.
Yeah, he takes a cue and he will, kind of make not quite small talk, but yeah, this seems to be the guy we were looking for. And he, kind of looks up and This might be it. What do you know what he took? He tries to shout up conversation. Inside here, you see another deep gnome, but this one is not wearing the manacles. It's not wearing the belt or anything like that. He has a pack, leather armor, a dagger at his waist in a sheath. So it looks like it might have been an adventurer that was caught by the spiders somehow.
Okay. I will try to pull that stuff off. Anything useful in the pack?
It looks like there are a few pitons, a couple torches, 50 feet of rope. Not stuff that is very hideable on your person. The leather armor you probably also would not have much of a chance of hiding. The dagger you probably could.
Okay.
So there's also a good chance you get searched as soon as you go up. Considering what they had you doing, but you can take that risk if you want.
Yeah.
Actually, just realized maybe I shouldn't mention it because out of character, but just concerns if they do search you.
I am going to.
You also have the option of down below, about 100 feet below. There is ground and a lake of some sort. The water from the waterfall pools down below. It moves slowly, but it does move. But you might be able to, cut loose this cocooned body and toss the whole thing over. Or, casually nudge it so that it falls over. And if you get down there somehow, get stuff then.
It was either that or I was going to try to see if I could stash everything in the backpack. But I feel like I'm going to try to take the dagger.
Okay.
Piton is just sort of like a spike, right?
Yeah.
But those are like too big to like pick locks with, that kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, the climbing spikes.
Yeah. Okay. I will kind of just cut him loose, so he drops down.
Okay.
And I'll do that with my claw. And then I will try to hide the dagger on my person.
All right, give me a sleight of hand roll.
Oof. Not great.
It's not hidden very great. Oh yeah, it's hidden wonderfully. Cannot be found.
You make a brooch out of it.
You successfully hide it from yourself.
All right, cool. I will shout up. I think we found the food.
Great. All right, come on back.
Guys? All right, we'll head back up.
So they guide you back along the webbing towards the lift. You hop in the lift. They pull you up, and at the top, Ront probably has the sack, and he shoves it at the Drow. Here's the food. And he is attempting to help you to give them disadvantage on their search. All right. They don't seem to bother you at all.
Oh, holy shit. Wow. Way to go. Way to go, Runt.
Yeah, good. I was really worried they were going to search you and then notice that your manacles were unlocked. That would
Yeah.
be bad.
Well, no, they unlock the manacles.
Oh, they did when they sent you guys down there.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Right.
But they do relock the manacles,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Back
Yeah,
to
yeah,
square
fair
one.
enough.
So they didn't notice that they were unlocked when they unlocked it.
No,
But
I mean
yeah,
we've
Ron,
got a
with the
crossroad
penalty.
before. Go back to square 5. You know.
Yeah. All right. I guess are they going to take us back, or
Yes, they take you back. They lead you. I'll move you. Oh, I don't want a spinner. They lead you to back. Or you 3, rather. And then they lock the door and return to their guard post.
Yeah, in which case we need to induct the latest members of the conspiracy.
Montage.
I assume you guys will just, so we don't have to re-explain it all again.
Yeah. Drow's planning to betray us, planning to betray the other Drow, probably also to betray us. But maybe we can get out from it, and we're gonna get ourselves unlocked and get ready for that, and hope it works out.
I'll kind of flash the handle of the dagger. Was able to pick up a little something on the way.
Ooh.
I had to drop a body that was wrapped up. It's down underneath by the falls. It has some adventuring gear and a bit of leather armor. Not much, but could help us.
Something.
So
Something's
no one wants to go to Loop the Loop or whatever. What was the
the Coachella City. I can't help but feel like there are better options. I mean,
He says it kind of joking. Never liked or Blingden Stone sound good to me.
All right. Yep. All right. So now I guess we need to decide: are we going to try to stage a break on our timetable, since we're all kind of unlocked now, and that's the longer that's the case, the more likely it is we get found out. Or alternatively, do we try to?
Oh, now we're the only ones locked up now. Are we able to get
We have
unlocked by
Yeah.
We're still in the cage. The gate's still locked. We have to wait. Unless you want to try picking that lock, but they'll see.
Yeah, once you get back, they proceed to unlock your manacles. They do keep them around, so that they look locked from a very casual observation.
I will also point out that this is a dramatically appropriate time, given that it is almost 11.
Dramatically appropriate time for what? To
Oh,
escape?
I thought our original intention was 8 to 11.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that it's just like, do we? Sorry, my brain. Do we make some
Do we
plans
bust out
now?
or do we wait for the Drow to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's right about the time that we were going to call it anyway, and we were like, do we wait for the guy to come in and rescue, or do we try to make a break for it? Where
It is right about that time when you guys are trying to determine this. You hear. Let's see here. I have. Oh, it's not on that sheet. Where is it? Here. A horrible droning buzz echoing through the cavern. Just kind of starts out small, like a mosquito around your ear, but it is not around your ear. It is out and about, and it gets louder and louder. And then you hear this inhuman shrieking very loudly. And a moment later, alarm horns start to sound out. And those closest to the gate can see, those closest to the gate with dark vision, can see in the cavern, coming from this over here. Let me move NPCs away from the gate so that people can get closer. Yeah, so there seems to be a very large, two, and I will show this to you. Well, I don't have a handout for it. Two very large winged creatures, almost look like vultures. For those that know what a vrock is, there are two vrocks.
A vrock. Ooh.
Let's see, I might be able
Those
to
are
show an
handsome.
image this way.
It says Zinch, Lord of Change.
Yes.
I'm not sure if that's
Is there
the
an
signal,
image?
but that's certainly a signal, and I feel like we should
It's
leave
a
now.
signal.
Oh.
One of the
Let's see, did that show to
papers.
everybody?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cute.
So you've
Okay,
got
thin
two of
gargoyle.
those,
And they're here to save us, right? That's
and four of those.
What?
And
Wonderful.
Man, that is a sick haircut, though.
seriously.
And it seems like the Chasmies, the insect-like ones, are pursuing the Vrock and swooping and buzzing around and all of this stuff. And the alarm horns are going off, and at which point Drow are running past the gate. Right from the north, there's a watchtower, and they're running past it. And the guards in the guard tower seem to be leaving the guard post tower, and all of this stuff. And a moment later, or perhaps 2 moments later, the crippled Drow comes running up out of breath. I guess now is the time. And he seems to be unlocking the door. And as the door unlocks, he drops basically anybody that had an arcane focus or a spell focus or a holy symbol. He drops those to the ground.
nice.
I could not get your other stuff. Retrieve it if you wish. And then he turns and starts running back, over to the guard tower. And that is where we will end it.
Perfect.
As these vrocks, as these demons seem to be flying around, combating each other.
But they're all super friendly, though, so we don't really have to worry about that.
They're
They're-
very, very
They're
friendly.
his squad.
Yeah.
Not my squad, they're his squad. He's clearly a demon worshipper of some kind.
They're squad friends.
I like how he didn't give us any keys to our manacles that were presumably locked in. He has a lot of faith in us, and I think that's good in a partnership.
I told you he was just using us for bait. He doesn't need us to be unlocked.
Cool. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah,
This is
thank you.
great.
This is fun.
Yeah, this was awesome. So fun.
So then next session, you guys can evade combating Drow and demons and go from there.
All right. Yeah.
Or we can just talk our way out of it.
I'm
Good
not
luck.
entirely convinced that's an option here, but I think it would be very funny to watch you try to negotiate with a Brock. So I'm all for it.
One of the important things about an escape is I don't need to be faster than the Drow. I just need to be faster than the bunny in this case. If you wanna stop it-
excuse me, but the bunny is actually extremely fast. So.
I was about to mention your plan is to outrun a hare.
No. The hare wants to go have pleasant conversations, which is fine.
Oh,
But while the-
actually, no. It'll be incredibly easy to outrun the hare. Yeah, just put like a shiny object somewhere in the vicinity. Yeah.
a little
Wow.
cupcake.
If,
little
if somebody
cinnamon
would have played a turtle,
I know.
I know there was a missed opportunity there.
a turtle monk, so you could step with the wind to be faster.
Gotta somehow make a turtle that's faster than the Harengon.
Pick up what's that feat that gives you a level 1 spell so you could take Expeditious Retreat.
and now this, because combat is an issue and not everything is going to be killing stuff, we'll do milestone experience for now. I don't know if we can change it later, but everybody can reach level 2 now.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
You done fucked up now.
That way you might get an extra +1 or so on the escape attempts.
Who's gonna be brave and roll for HPs, and who's gonna be
Yeah, how are we doing HP?
That is up
I
to
mean,
you. You can take the fixed per level or roll for it.
All right.
I like
screw it, let's
fixed.
do this.
Just
I mean, fixed is better. It's just better. However,
But it,
Yeah, I usually do
however,
fixed
I have chosen to
level.
suffer. So that's what we're doing.
I'm going to do fixed, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna do fixed as well. Can we do something different? All of us, is that okay?
Yeah.
We choose. Okay.
boing.
I
Artificer
I will not let
Infusion.
our fighter suffer, and I will also roll this time.
You can't stop me
Gluttons
from suffering.
for punishment.
It pays
Oh,
off.
nice.
Oh, yeah. See,
It'll never pay off again. Don't worry.
oh no! I've been in multiple campaigns where I played the fighter with less HP than the wizard for no earthly reason. But you know what? We make up for that with armor class.
And the last fighter I played was in 4th edition. I had a Dragonborn fighter, and he had ungodly hit points. And he had a surge value that was almost like 45% of his hit point value.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was
Unlimited
like,
HP.
yeah, hit me. I can take it. I can heal. And it was fun because we did drop in and out players sometimes, and we'd always end up with a new player. It's like, oh, you got hit for 15 damage. Let me heal you. No, not yet. No.
I remember you saying something about that.
Yeah.
I need to figure out how you level up on D&D.
Okay, so on D&D Beyond,
There's got to be an easier way.
there is an anvil on the
Mhm.
top that goes to the builder, and then I believe you just kind of add a level to your class.
Oh, so it's the gross way of doing things. Okay.
It's like Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, and there's level 1 next there, and then you just kind of make it level 2.
Wow, a total of 13 HP. We're really doing something now.
Hey, that's what I started with.
I'm the tank now, guys.
Yeah, so now that 2d10 poison might not kill you outright.
Well, as a dwarf, he would have resistance to poison, though.
Oh yeah.
Ah, true.
I don't care about your poison. Hit me with that poison.
And then you guys
Bring
can finish that offline if you wish. Since it is time, let me end the stream. Thank you, anybody that was watching. Oh yeah. since my schedule is very hectic, next week or not next week, in 2 weeks on the 4th, I should be good. I never know for sure because they mess with our schedules because we do transportation and things fluctuate, but I should be good.
Cool.
Yeah, works for me.
Dope.
I know Super Bowl week is not our game time, so that will affect my other game and I won't be available then.
And same time, 8 to 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, a little later if my job gets in the way, but 11 should be our end time.
Yeah.
My other game goes later and my East Coast people suffer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, Chris, and I are all. I don't know if anybody else is East Coast, but
Nah, I'm West Coast is
East
best
Coast,
coast.
Worst Coast has got a W in it.